Chapter 12. Fireworks. My mom loves the outdoor shower. I feel so free out here! Charlie is dressed and ready to see the fireworks. My mom gets dressed and we head down from our rooftop in the middle of old San Juan. I take Danny's camera and pull it over my neck. It's heavy, but there's something comforting about the way it weighs down and rests against my chest, like it's a shield or something. A shield I can lift up and hide behind whenever I want. We cross the bridge, and this time I don't look down. It doesn't sway as much as before. The first person we see downstairs is Sergio. "Hey," he says, offering his hand. "Ready to see the fireworks?" "Yes," Charlie says. "You know," Sergio says, "I love fireworks." Charlie smiles. "Me too." "Well, we don't want to miss the show. Shall we go?" "Yes," my mom says, taking Charlie and me by the hand. She looks at me. "Adventure, huh, sweetie?" "Yeah," I say as we get to my dad's old room. I stop in front of it. "Hey, Sergio?" "What's up?" Have you... Your father and I, we used to be very close. He was a great farmer," Sergio says. "But he went his way and I went mine." "Where did he go?" "He had big plans for an agro-tourism business, but it didn't work out." "Have you spoken to him?" "Not for a while. Last time we saw each other was a few years ago, maybe longer. He wanted to talk to Dharma, but she became very upset at him." "What happened?" "Why don't we talk about this later? We don't want to miss the show, do we?" I shake my head, but I still want to find a way to get into my dad's old room. How hard can it be to push in the door? We find the two German girls, Angela and Hilda, at the bottom of the stairs, waiting by the door. "Fireworks!" Hilda says to Charlie. Maria is next to join us. She smiles at Charlie when she sees him. "Buenas noches, lindo," she says, rubbing his shoulders. Charlie soaks in every bit of Maria's affection. "He's a flirt," she says as Charlie gets all googly-eyed. Maria goes outside with Angela and Hilda. My mom, Charlie, and I follow while Sergio goes to close the door with no knobs. Tio Arminio emerges before he can. "I have to stay here at the front desk. Have a good time, children," he says. "We will," Sergio says, walking with the rest of us. "Tio doesn't really have anybody checking into the hostel anymore," he adds out of earshot, "but I think part of him likes to keep watch in case somebody does come." "Tio is always home," Maria says suddenly. "He likes to keep watch over the house in case anybody needs a bed to sleep in." "Very true," Sergio said. "All the tias and tios in our family are like that." There's something comforting about that, I guess. Like, it makes it feel less lonely or something. Everyone says goodbye, and Tio Arminio continues to wave at us from the stoop. We walk down the cobbled streets toward the edge of the ocean. I can smell the sea air. And even though it's getting dark, it's still pretty hot. Springfield is freezing by this time of night. I see an old castle on the edge of a cliff they call El Morro. I recognize it from the book on the plane. We find a place to sit where a crowd has gathered. Maria chats with Angela and Hilda. "She acts tough, but she's the best daughter any father could ask for," Sergio says, beaming. "She's incredible," my mom replies. "I can't believe how much she's grown. Where does the time go?" "I don't know," he says. "She's leaving for Florida next year, and I don't know if I can handle being so far away from her. And I really don't like to fly. Maybe I can take a boat?" I wonder how it feels to have a dad who misses you before you are even gone. Maybe my dad feels that way and I just don't know it. I tell her to go to school here and work the farm with me, but she has her own dreams, he says. What can I do? They have to fly on their own at some point, no? Yeah, my mom says. We're trying to grow the business, but Dharma's so focused on the agricultural school, he says. She's like a mother to me. I have to respect her wishes. My mom tells me that Dharma is Sergio's aunt. Both of Sergio's parents passed away when Sergio was only 10 years old, and Dharma raised him and his brother. She taught me everything I know, he says fondly. My mom tells him that I want to come here to find my dad, but that really she just wants some time with her kids. She talks about working so much and not spending enough time with us. It's strange watching her open up like this. Sergio seems affected by what my mom's saying. He looks over at us a few times and nods. "Well, we should go look for him," he says. My mom seems surprised. "Aren't you two in a fight right now?" We have different ways of talking to Tia Dharma. His way is not very effective, but I can tell finding him is important to Marcus. I appreciate what Sergio says. I'm not used to asking for help. I can mostly take care of myself and my family. Fireworks suddenly bursting in the sky makes me lose my train of thought. Charlie watches without blinking. He covers his ears whenever there's a loud blast, but for the most part he watches intensely as the lights flicker blue and red and yellow. He points whenever he likes one a lot. He tells me to look, 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 and even though I'm already watching, I lift the camera and disappear behind the lens. Snap, snap, snap. I snap a few more pictures, and then my mom takes my hand and puts her other arm around Charlie. There we are, our first trip this far away, watching the night turn to sparkles and light in a place we haven't been, with strangers who say they're family. When the fireworks show is over, Sergio suggests we go to a cafe to have a snack. We all head down to an area close to Tio Arminio's that has a whole bunch of restaurants. Music blasts from a club with bright neon lights. It's the kind of music Charlie was listening to on his headphones, and he starts grooving in the middle of the street. I try to stop him, but before I can, Angela and Hilda join in and start a dance party. My brother is not a shy kid. Actually, he's a total ham. The more attention he gets from Angela and Hilda, the more he sways to the music. Sergio starts clapping along, and I see Maria smile also. Charlie has captured the attention of some people nearby, and soon they start dancing around my brother. A circle forms with Charlie at the center. More gather around, making it harder to keep an eye on Charlie. I manage to see that he's holding Angela's hand and Hilda's hand as they twist and shake around. Some guy wearing sunglasses, a really tight shirt, and white pants jumps into the middle of the circle. I start moving through the crowd because I don't like the way this guy is surrounding my brother in half-dance steps. The guy skips and jumps around, keeping his eyes on Charlie. Angela and Hilda have made room for the guy, who stops right in front of Charlie and stares at him. I feel my hands clench in a fist. Charlie keeps dancing like nothing's wrong as the guy lifts his sunglasses. He's not smiling. He's going to push my brother. I just know it. I rush over to stop him, but I worry I won't get there in time. Before I reach Charlie, he strikes a pose and does an impressive dance twirl. The guy nods, smiles, jumps up, and lands in a split. How in the heck can he do the splits with pants so tight? Everyone takes a step back, and I find myself dead center. Everyone cheers. No way, no way. They're ridiculous if they think I'm going to dance. Forget it. I walk back to the edge of the circle, but somebody gently pushes me in. Charlie takes my hand. I don't move. I allow him to use my hands and arms to twist around, but my feet stay firmly planted on the ground. I don't dance. The dance circle expands when my mom joins in. The tight pants guy starts dancing with my mom, and then Angela and Hilda come back in. I see Sergio trying to urge Maria to join him in the circle. Maria says no. She's the only one I relate to in this bizarre situation. The song ends and people start to disperse. My mom and Sergio find us a table at an outdoor cafe just steps away. We all make our way over and order some sandwiches. 2 other people we don't know join us at our lopsided table. One of them, a lady wearing a hot pink shirt, shares that she just got her tax return and is treating herself to a night out before she puts the rest into her savings account. My mom whispers, "I love how friendly people in PR are." She means Puerto Rico. It's like my mom is someone else. I don't think I've ever seen her smile so freely. I nod, although I can't understand why the lady is sharing so much of her personal information with complete strangers. The tight pants guy pulls up a chair. He rubs Charlie's head and says that Charlie is a great dancer. He tells us that he just broke up with his girlfriend of 2 years and is now living with his mother in Arecibo, but that he stays with his cousin in Old San Juan on the weekends to work as a barista. Like my mom, I can tell Charlie is really enjoying himself, which makes me feel proud. I wonder if my dad would dance in a situation like this. I think he would. Probably keep his feet firmly on the ground, like me. When the night is finally over, we all head back to Tio Arminio's. "We should travel more," my mom says. "This one night has been incredible." Let's check Dad's room, Mom, I tell her. We might find something. We open the door to the hostel, and Tio Arminio pops his head up from the sofa in the living room. How was your night, muchachos? He asks, getting up and tightening the belt of his bathrobe. Before anyone can answer, I say, I wonder if we could check in my dad's old room. Honey, it's late, my mom says. We can do that tomorrow. It's just upstairs, Mom. I reply, it's on the way. Tio Arminio takes out a key and hands it to me. The boy will sleep better if his mind is at ease, he says to my mom. She sighs. I head upstairs and I'm surprised when the rest of the group follows me. I guess they're curious to see what's in there too. I slowly turn the key to my dad's old room and we all pour in. I find a light switch and the first thing I spot is a whole bunch of books on a desk. There's one about farm machines. There's another one about starting your own business and another about fruits and vegetables. He had plans, Sergio offers. Big ones. Too big, perhaps. What's wrong with big plans? I skim through one of the books. It's mostly in Spanish, but I can tell from the pictures and the title that it has something to do with agricultural tourism in Puerto Rico. I put the book down and scan the room. There are a few shirts on a rack. A blue suitcase with wheels is parked next to the bed, and there are a few papers on the night table. I left everything as he did, Tio Arminio says, walking around back to the doorway. I wanted to keep his room ready for when he returned. Even though we had a disagreement, family is family. With that, Tio Arminio quietly leaves the room. Has anyone tried calling him? I ask Sergio. He doesn't have a phone, he replies. Who tries to start a business without having a phone? My mom blurts out. Marcus, honey, can we go now? It's late. Mom has a point. Why doesn't my dad have a phone? And what happened with Tio Arminio that made him storm off? The way Sergio talks about my dad, it doesn't seem like he likes him very much. I notice that his voice sounds slightly irritated when the subject comes up. My mom's eye rolls make it clear how she feels. It's like they're ganging up on my dad. It doesn't seem fair. Mira esto, Maria says, holding a piece of paper in her hand. Charlie looks at it and starts to read. Oro Covis. Marcus, look here, look! Charlie hands me the paper. Yeah, I think that has to do with a restaurant your dad wanted to open in Darma's town. Another one of your father's plans, Sergio says. Listen, we are going back to the farm tomorrow morning. Would you like to see it? You are all welcome. You don't need to stay for the farmer's market, Mom asks. We typically come into town on the weekends. We stayed an extra day to pick up Angela and Hilda at the airport. They wanted to stay an extra night to see old San Juan, and, well, you know how it goes. How does it go? I asked him, confused. My daughter and her friends wanted to stay an extra night, so we did. Sergio looks at me. We have to go back to Orocovis tomorrow to pick up produce for the market this coming weekend. You can come with us if you like. Yes, I say, without a second thought. If my dad was opening a restaurant near Darma's farm, maybe he's there running his business. No, my mom says, taking the letter. This isn't her relaxed voice anymore. She's serious. This is not what I wanted to do on my vacation, Marcus. If your father returns my email, we'll go see him. But I'm not dragging Sergio and Maria on some wild goose chase to look for someone who doesn't want to be found. It would be no problem for us, Mel, Sergio says, honestly, and Tia Dharma would love to see you. My mom looks at me, then back at Sergio. There's plenty of room in our truck, he continues, and the boys will love Orocovis. It will be, as you say, an adventure. Can we stop by the chinchurros? Hilda chimes in. They're so much fun. Hilda, Angela jumps in. It's rude to impose. What? Hilda responds. They will love the chinchurros. Angela shakes her head. Always thinking of the next good time, she mutters, then says something that sounds like father in German. Hilda explains that the chinchurros are the best place to soak in island life. They are little roadside shacks that serve snacks and refreshing drinks. It's where locals catch up with each other. Maria agrees that it's something we should experience, since it's our first trip to Puerto Rico. Sergio tells us more about the farm. He makes it sound like it's the greatest place in the world. The excitement builds. Eventually, even Mom can't turn down the offer. Okay, we'll see everyone out front after breakfast, Sergio says. You're going to love the countryside, Sergio says to Charlie. Charlie leans on me and puts his arm around my waist. This wasn't part of the plan, and I can tell that he's feeling a little nervous. Don't worry, man, I'll be there, I say. Maria smiles at Charlie. Then he turns to me and says, I'm not nervous. He pushes past me and starts walking upstairs. What's that about? We say goodnight to Tio Arminio and walk up the many flights of stairs to our rooftop shack in the middle of Old San Juan. We cross the bridge, which is now lit by white Christmas lights strung up throughout the courtyard. My mom decides she wants to shower again. I'm telling you, she's in love with it. Charlie changes into his pajamas, plops down on the netted bed, and falls asleep immediately. I change and climb onto the twin bed in the corner. My legs dangle off the end, but it doesn't bother me. My mom's humming in the shower mixes with the music still blasting from the streets below. I close my eyes and let sleep wash over me. Tomorrow, Mom, Charlie, Maria, Angela, Hilda, Sergio, and I will take a drive into the country to go to a farm and ask about my dad. Finally, a lead.